Hello, welcome back. This is Ethics Institute of East Africa. It's a channel that discusses matters corruption and corruption eradication. My name is Joseph Okhako. I'm the CEO of Ethics Institute of East Africa, and I'll be your host. We've been discussing strategies to corruption eradication, and we have talked about value-based approach, compliance-based approach, risk management approach, awareness and participation approach. And we have various aspects under value-based approach. We have discussed about top management principle, or the tone at the top principle, and we have talked about how we can be able to initiate tone at the top approach. I remember giving examples of how, for example, an organization can do that, the CEO, the directors, on how they can be able to model corruption eradication in the organization. I've given an insight on how the president of a country, even if it is Kenya or Uganda or Tanzania or Rwanda, how he or she can be able to model corruption eradication in that particular country. I've given an example of how the president, for example, can establish a cabinet committee on corruption eradication, and how he can be able to communicate from his desk through circulars instructing the chief executives and the board of directors of public institutions to prioritize corruption eradication. I've also spoken about how the president's office can have an advisor on governance and leadership. This is a person who can sit in the cabinet committee on corruption to be able to guide the president on how to handle matters governance and leadership, which includes corruption eradication. I had introduced the aspect of ethics and integrity training, and I said that ethics and integrity training enables employees to be able to deal with dilemmas. It enables employees to be able to understand through their own judgment on how decision making can be done. I also said about improving on productivity of the organizations, and we are continuing from there now. Today I want also, still on training, to say that ethics training instills a moral code of conduct among employees, and it ensures the employees are honesty. There is a lot of transparency in their decision making. There's a lot of accountability in whatever they are doing, which is very key for an organization. And let me assure you of something, that when employees are trained on ethics and integrity, the bottom line is protected. The profits that organizations are making will be protected, because employees do not have the capacity, they don't have the willingness, they don't have the appetite, the affinity to steal from the organization, because they have been trained on how to serve the employer well. Unfortunately, if you are not giving priority to ethics and integrity training, you are opening an avenue for the organization to go the Enron way. Employees brought down Enron because of lack of transparency and accountability, and not being honest to their shareholders and to the employer. That's what brought down the most celebrated organization that went down because of corruption, and that is Enron, including WorldCom. And so my take today is that you may be having billions on billions of shillings in terms of bottom line. You are making profits that are completely beyond any other organization. You may be the Safaricom of your nation, making billions and billions of shillings, but you have never stopped to ask yourself, out of these 200 billion or 20 billion shillings in profit that you are making, which ones goes through corruption? Which one are lost through corruption? You don't know. Why? Because you are not prioritizing ethics and integrity training. You may have the best employees in the organization, professionally, outright, best that you have ever acquired, but you don't know what they do behind your back in terms of siphoning or defrauding the organization. You can only do that if you train your staff on ethics and integrity. And I want to insist here that you will not be wasting your money if you train employees on ethics and integrity. Let me tell you that if you train your employees only on customer satisfaction, or you are training employees on HR and management, or you are training employees in any other aspect other than ethics and integrity, you may be wasting your money. Because when you train employees on ethics and integrity, you are assured that HR practices will be done very well in terms of staff selection and staff promotion, and recruitment will be done pretty well. If you are training employees on ethics and integrity, there is the aspect of accounting principles. They will really stick to those accounting principles because they have been trained on ethics and integrity. If you are training employees on ethics and integrity, your customers will be satisfied because employees will be morally upright and they will always consider your customers as a first priority. Unfortunately, if you emphasize so much on these other areas and not ethics and integrity, Warren Buffett says, if your employees don't have integrity, you are wasting your time. And therefore, today, I want to address the employers. Invest in training your employees on ethics and integrity as a priority. Your customers will be satisfied, your bottom line will be protected, and there is another aspect which is very important. The work environment will be very, very conducive for anybody to work because there is compassion, there is a lot of respect, there is a lot of honesty on how these employees behave. I've been in the business of developing ethics and integrity champions across the African region, and I can assure you that those institutions that have been at the forefront of ensuring there is ethics and integrity in the organization through training and capacity development, these institutions will bear me witness that there have been a lot of success stories in terms of protecting the bottom line, in terms of ensuring conducive work environment. And therefore, I want to call upon employers to kindly invest in improving the ethical behavior of your employees through training on ethics and integrity. It is the priority. It is the priority. Nothing else that will give you success except training employees on ethics and integrity. Thank you so much. We continue discussing about strategies to reducing corruption in organizations and in organizations and even at the national level.